Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The Honorable Lecturer of Subject Interpretative Reading, namely Mr. Muhammad Farhan Rafi, SPD, MPD, and Happy Friend. First, let us pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for the grace that has been given to us, namely health, sanity, and leniency. Well, today I am Ivon Ambarsari as a moderator who will lead the discussion. The topic we will discuss is analysis the cognitive level and scope of the text. Before the discussion begins, I will introduce Group 5 members who will present the materials, namely Lusia Senciana and Vatma Anggi Lutvika. Okay, next is the delivery of the materials. The first analysis will be present by me. Text 1, analysis cognitive level. My canary bird. I have a lovely canary bird. His name is Canary. He is fluffy little bird. His head and breast are covered by bright yellow plumage, and his wings and tail feathers are greenish yellow. He looks beautiful with all those colors. I put Canary into a medium bird cage to give him some free speech. I usually feed him 2 times a day. Sometimes I feed him bird food, larvae, chickens, and grains. He licks larvae and chickens most. I also provide him a little fresh water in a small container inside his jug to let her drink. Every morning, I place his jug outside in front of my house to keep him warm. He is a great songbird. I love listening to his chirping. It is so beautiful and pleasant. Okay, next slide. Analysis. This text includes descriptive text, which contains the analysis of information about canaries. The goal is to depict the object as a canary. There are 2 sections, the explanations, the topics, including identification and description. 1. Identification. Contents about the introduction of a person, place, animals, or object will be described. For examples, I have a lovely canary bird. His name is Canary. He is a lovely little bird. His head and birds are covered by bright yellow plumage, and his wings and tail feathers are greenish yellow. He looks beautiful with all those colors. Number 2, description. Contains a description of something such as animals, things, place, or person by describing either features, forms, colors, or anything related to what the writer described. For examples, I put Canary into a medium bird cage to give him some free speech. I usually feed him 2 times a day. Sometimes I feed him bird food, larvae, chickens, and grains. He likes larvae and chickens most. I also provide him a little fresh water in a small container inside his jug to let her drink. Every morning, I place his jug outside in front of my house to keep him warm. He is great songbird. I love listening to his chirping. It is so beautiful and pleasant. Okay, next slide. Analysis descriptive text language features. 1. Special participants have a certain objects that are not common and unique. For examples, I have a lovely canary bird. Number 2, simple present tense. Use the basic verb or the first from verb 1 and use a verb that can show the ownership or state of an object. For example, his name is Canary. He is fluffy little bird. Number 3, action verb. Using verbs that indicates an activity or an activity that can be sent. For example, he is a great songbird. Okay, next slide. Okay, the second analysis will be present by Vatma and Lutvika. Okay, Vatma, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ivon. The number 2 is analyze text, analyze cognitive levels. Sunflower. The sunflower's Helitus annus is a living annual plant in the family Asteraceae with a large flower head capitulum. The stem of the flowers can grow up to 3 meters tall with a flower head that can be 30 centimeters wide. Other types of sunflowers include the California royal sunflowers, which has a burgundy red plus purple flower head. The flower head is actually an inflorescence made of hundreds or thousands of tiny flowers called florets. The central florets look like the center of normal flowers, absodontium. The benefit to the plant is that this are easily seen by the insect and bird which pollinate it, and its product produce thousands of seeds. The flowers petals within the sunflower's cluster are always in a spiral pattern. Generally, each flower is oriental toward the next by approximately the golden angels 137.5, producing a pattern of interconnection spirals where the numbers of left spiral and the number of right spirals are successive Fibonacci numbers. Sunflowers commonly grow to heights between 1.5 and 3.5 meters. Typically, there are 34 spirals in one direction and 55 in other. On a very large sunflower, there could be 87 in one direction and 144 in the others. Okay, next slide. Analyze. These texts include descriptive text, which is contained an overview analysis of specific sunflower information and the purpose to describe the object is sunflowers. There are two sections that explain the topic. One is identifications and descriptions. So one identification contains a general statement of the object to be described by the reader. The analysis for identification in this text is the sunflowers or Heliatus annus is a living annual plant in the family Asteraceae with a large flower head or capitulum. The stem of the flowers can grow up to 3 meters tall with a flower head that can be 30 centimeters wide. Other types of sunflower include the California royal sunflowers, which has a burgundy or red plus purple flowers head. So this is the example or the explanations or general statement about sunflowers for species, Latin names, and types. Okay, next. Number 2 is descriptions. Description contains detailed descriptions or descriptions of the object being described. So the example of description in the text is the flower head is actually an inflorescence made of hundreds or thousands of tiny flowers called florets. The central flowers look like the center of normal flowers, absodentium. The benefit to the plants is that it's very easily seen by the insect and bird which pollinate it, and it produces thousands of seeds. The flowers petals within the sunflowers cluster are always in a spiral pattern. Generally, each flower is oriental toward the next by approximately the golden angel, 137.5, producing a pattern of interconnection spirals where the number of left spiral and the number of right spiral are successive Fibonacci numbers. Sunflowers commonly grow to heights between 1.5 and 3.5 meters. Typical, there are 34 spiral in the one directions and 55 in the others. On a very large sunflower, there could be 87 in one direction and 144 in the others. The explanations about our classifications or general descriptions contains a detailed description of sunflowers from the flowers part to the size. Next. And then a language feature of descriptive text. One is use specific participants. The main is has a certain object, is not common and unique. So the example is sunflower because sunflower is not common like other plant. And then use of simple present tense. The tense pattern use simple present because it tells the fact of the object described. For example, sunflowers commonly grow to heights between 1.5 and 3.5. It uses simple present tense. And the last is action verb. Action verb is show an activity to object. In this analysis, I choose a grow and living because it's like action verb. One is grow, one is living. So for the example is the sunflowers or Heliatus nose is a living annual plant in the family Asteraceae. And number two is grow. For the example, sunflowers commonly grow to heights between 1.5 and 3.5 meters. Thank you.
Okay, the last analysis will be present by Lusia Senciana. Okay, Lusia Senciana, 10 is yours.
Thank you, Ivon. Text 3 analysis cognitive level. We title My Best Friend. I have a very good friend. Her name is Ayun. She's my classmate. I know her for about 2 years. We have met since the first time we met at the college EAEN Tulungagung, which at the time was the announcement day for class distribution for new students. She is a beautiful and kind friend. Ayun is my confidence. She was very excited to be invited to chat. I feel suitable to be friends with her. My friend Ayun has an ideal body. It's about 152 centimeters tall and weighs around 50 kilograms. She's sweet, black, the teeth are neat and sparkling white. She looks very charming when smiling. In addition to her beautiful face, Ayun is very kind and friendly to everyone. She is very sociable, cheerful, swinging children. She likes to have fun. She loves traveling. She has a fantastic sense of humor and she always makes me laugh. She cannot see her friend sad. When her friend is sad, she will cheer up with all her strength until her friend smiles again. But she has a great ambition when doing something. What is desired must be achieved. Ayun also likes to listen to music, and sometimes she spends money on shopping. She often invites me to take a walk. We also often buy meals together. Everywhere we are always together. So often together, some of our friends said, there I am sure to be Ayun. It's a pleasure for me to be with her and know her. Hopefully we will remain close friends forever. There, there is analysis about descriptive text, my best friend. The example text above is an example of a descriptive text that I'm to explain, describe, or refer a person, namely Ayun. There are two sections that explain the topic, including identification and description. One, identification. The section introduces the reader to Ayun, which will be explained in detail in the next paragraph. I have a very good friend. Her name is Ayun. She's my classmate. I know her for about 2 years. We have met since the first time we met at the college, IAIN Tulungagung, which at the time was the announcement day for class distribution for new students. To description. This description discusses various things related to the characteristic of the attribute of specific thing. The characteristic possessed here can include physical appearance, hobbies, behavior, and also the characteristic possessed by Ayun. She is a beautiful and kind friend. Ayun is my confidence. She was very excited to be invited to chat. I feel suitable to be friends with her. My friend Ayun has an ideal body. It's about 152 centimeters tall and weighs around 50 kilograms. She's sweet black. The teeth are neat and sparkling white. She looks very charming when smiling. In addition to her beauty face, Ayun is very kind and friendly to everyone. She is very sociable, cheerful, swinging children. She likes to have fun. She loves traveling. She has a fantastic sense of humor and she always makes me laugh. She cannot see her friend sad. When her friend is sad, she will cheer up with all her strength until her friend smiles again. But she has a great ambition when doing something. But its desire must be achieved. Ayun also likes to listen to music and sometimes she spends money on shopping. And the next is it analyzes language features about this descriptive text are first, using specific participant. Having a certain object, only using one more specific word. Explanation, I have a very good friend. Her name is Ayun. Two, using adjectives. Adjectives that are both describing and classifying. Example, in addition to her beautiful face, Ayun is very kind and friendly to everyone. 3. Using nouns. Using nouns to explain nouns in more detail. Example, the teeth are neat and sparkling white. 4. Using simple present tense. Sentence pattern used in the descriptive text is the simple present tense because it will tell the fact of the object being described. Example, she is a beautiful and kind friend. 5. Using action. Using action verbs. Using verbs to describe and explain Ayun's action or activities. Example, Ayun also likes to listen to music and sometimes she spends money on shopping. 6. Using figurative language. Using figurative language or describing Ayun, in general, they will use a metaphor to illustrate to the reader. Example, Ayun is my confidence. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Lusia Senciana and Vatma and Lutvika. That was our presentation. I, as a moderator, apologize if there are still many shortcomings and mistakes. This is where we learn together. No one feels for themselves. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.